So I really hate it. But if the doorway is opened up and somebody says, where do you agree? I'm like, well, actually, when it comes to like what we all call woke ideology, like radical leftism, a lot of the statements of the problems I agree with. I don't agree with the solutions. You lose the nuance, don't you? Where I'd say, no, like you're talking about systemic racism, or you're talking about systems of power and how there's a lack of inclusivity. And yeah, sound, I see all that. It's the solutions and the way we say, oh, we're against racism, and then racism comes back in through the back door. We're against sexism, and then sexism comes back in through the back. It's that stuff that I'm against. The actual propositions of woke ideology, of the proposal of a problem, I'm like, yeah, I'm open to that.
We need to deal with it, we need to just decant out of colour. We just need to ensure that all conversations do not start with a preference to colour.
Right.
We just don't start.
What did you say? Decant out of colour? I like that.
Decant out of it.
I like it.
Yeah, because, we are indoctrinated into defining. And when we define, we say, oh, that black man, that man of colour, whatever shit you're allowed to say today. Why do we need to make reference to it? And, Candace Owens was on the other day, and she was talking about, and she was arguing actually, because she is right-wing, she is a Republican, and she goes against, the norm. And she's saying, but why can't I? And I don't believe in colour. And I agree with her, totally agree with her. She's too right-wing for me.
Right.
Because I am left.
Yeah.
I do believe in everyone sharing. I do believe in whatever I earn, you can have.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I believe in that totally. And she's different. But again, because I stretch out into arenas that aren't really comfortable to me, I'm learning, and I went, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have heard that otherwise, because it's not really what I would normally watch.
Yeah, no, I listen to Candace Owens. I'll tune into Ben Shapiro and people on the right, and yeah, I like it. I like Slavoj Žižek. He's very, very far left. I like listening to him. I listen to Chomsky, and I want to hear what people have to say, and I want to see where we agree. And I think, like you said, decant the colour out of it. These are dividing lines.
Yeah,
that
and
limit.
divisive.
Yeah,
very divisive.
Very divisive,
and divisive to create tribes.
Right,
and tribes go to war.
Yes,
that's a fact.
Yes.
So the world has to be about non-tribal acts.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to get rid of what defines tribes.
Yes.
And the first one is colour.
Lawrence Westcott in here for a couple of interviews about 6 months ago. He's big on the Liverpool slave trade and the history of that.
Yep.
And he was saying that the notion of race was created to justify slavery. It's actually quite modern. And he said before that there was no race, it was peoples. So he'd say the people of India or the people of Egypt, or there's an ancient Egyptian text where they're talking about the Syrians.
And but they weren't deemed as the same ilk, were they?
No,
at that time, that's why.
Yeah.
Whereas now that we are all deemed as the same.
Right.
Whereas before we weren't.
Yeah. And I think it's an interesting way of looking at it, where you just say, oh, okay, so race, is that a scientific thing? Well, no. Is it a biological thing? Not really. So what is it? What divisive. Are we talking about? Yeah.
It's divisive to create a narrative, to create a tribe. Because people want to create, so let's say you're a leader. Let's just say you are a very strong, very opinionated, someone who thinks that they can do well in politics, say. You want to create your tribe. So you find your keywords that are yours, that you want to control, and you'll be divisive with those words in order to ensure collaboration with other people.
Yes, you have to, yeah.
Otherwise, you're on your own.
Yeah. There's no...
So politics is seamlessly laced through all of this.
Yes.
Politics and politicians, in my view, are at fault on many, many things.